Hi friends, Sarah here. Thanks for joining me. Let's take a yoga practice together to move the body, stretch, breathe, relax, and feel better. So grab your mat and let's get started. So let's start today in a hero pose, bringing the big toes to touch and sitting on your heels. If that's too intense, you could sit on a yoga block or you could sit cross-legged. But I'm offering this hero pose to have the hips very equal, interlacing your hands with palms facing up. Let your tailbone drop down right between the heels and feel the belly draw in and up toward that space between the rib cages. Shoulder blades drawing on the back and a subtle lift right up through the crown of the head. The palms are facing up in a gesture of receptivity and openness for whatever insight might arise here in your practice today. Notice the natural flow of your breath. Let that focus bring you into your body, into the present moment. So everything else outside the space of right now begins to fall away. And you arrive in your body, in your practice today. And take the interlace of the hands, press it gently on the belly, and we'll start to inhale, puff the belly out toward the hands. And then when you exhale, pull the belly in, and you can really drop that tail and look toward your belly. And when you inhale, look for more lower back curve, puff the belly into the hands, look up. And then exhale, we're going to pull the belly in, chin toward chest, and then inhale, taking a little subtle cat and cow spine, broad collarbones. Exhale, pull the belly in. One more inhale. Now when you exhale, lay the belly down over the thighs and start to drape your forehead right down into the mat. And then lay your arms down alongside the body into embryo pose, rooting down through the tops of the feet. Consider your intention for practice today. What do you want to cultivate today in your practice? We'll press down through the tops of the feet. Start to gather the lower belly in. Stand up on your knees. Separate your knees hip width distance apart. Take your hands onto imaginary back pockets. Point your elbows straight back and lift your chest up. Lift the sternum right up as you inhale, and then exhale, come on back to neutral. Come into a tabletop position. Fan your fingers wide. Drop your belly, look forward on the inhale, feel that belly expand. Exhale, root through the tops of the feet, scoop the tail and round, chin toward chest. So flow through that a few times. Inhale, belly drops, fingers fan wide. Exhale, round, pressing the hands into the mat. Inhale, tuck your toes this time. Exhale, hips to heels, slide your hands forward. We're going to continue to warm up, moving the body with the breath. That's vinyasa, is to move the body with the breath. So this practice is inspired by moving the body with the breath to create a quality of meditation. So when you inhale, glide your chest forward, look up. Exhale, hug your belly in, send the hips back. And we'll move through that a few times. Inhale, lift the belly, wave forward, look up. Exhale, press the ground away. Stretching out the soles of the feet. One more time. Inhale, look forward or up. And exhale, lift the knees, come on up into downward dog. Send the hips high. Feel free to pedal out your feet, dropping one heel at a time to stretch out the calves. Contain the lower ribs in toward the belly. And exhaling long up through the tailbone toward the sky. Now lift the heels and come into a plank pose as you inhale. When you exhale, bring your knees down, send the hips to the heels, coming into child's pose. And then stand up on your knees. On your inhale, hands to your lower back, little back bend. Exhale, belly in, and extend your arms out long into child's pose. And then inhale, glide through, modified plank. Exhale, downward dog. We'll do that flow one more time. Inhale, coming into plank, knees down on your exhale, child's pose, hips to heels. Stand up on your knees, hands on imaginary back pockets on the inhale. Find your camel variation back bend. Exhale, belly in, hips to heels. Slide your hands forward back to child's pose. Inhale, wave forward. Exhale, come all the way down onto your belly. This time, take your feet flat. Drag your shoulders onto your back for a cobra pose on your inhale. Exhale, hips to heels. Tuck your toes. Come into active child's pose. Toes are tucked under. Again, so we're stretching out the soles of the feet. And then tented fingers, hasta bandha. Lifting the center of the palms right into your wrist, right into your underarm. Now lift your belly and slide your right foot through. Right knee is over the heel. Lift your left thigh and spin that left heel down. Cartwheel the left arm up and come into warrior two. Look over your left fingertips. Lift your left side rib. Press through your left foot. And then drop the pelvis down a little more. Look over your right fingertip. Turn your right palm up. Reach forward. Then come into reversing your warrior. Left hand to left thigh. Right arm sweeps up and over. If you want to slide that left hand around and try to bind on top of the right thigh, that's an option for you. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, belly in. Take your right forearm to the top of the thigh bone, palm facing up. And keep your left hand on your hip, or you can sweep your left arm right up alongside the ear. And look at that open right hand. And spread the toes on both feet. And draw your lower ribs in to contain the belly. Then reach the left fingertips forward, hands frame that front foot. Swing the left heel over the toes. Plant your left hand a little wider than the shoulder. Take your right hand onto your back. Look to the right. And just keep that right hand, the warmth of the hand, rooting toward the tailbone as you lift your lower back into the hand. Inhale. Exhale, release that left knee down. Hands frame the front foot. Slide that right leg back. Toes tucked. Hips to heels. And then stand up on your knees as you inhale your way into a camel, Ustrasana, fingertips pointing toward the backs of your knees. Lift the sternum straight up. And then exhale, belly in. Going to return into that child's pose with tented fingers. Deepening those hip creases straight back. Now lift your belly, slide your left foot through. Left knee is over the heel. Lift your right thigh. Spin that right heel down. It's about heel to heel alignment. Both feet are anchored as you cartwheel on up into warrior two. And we find our bearings, the four corners of both feet rooting. Tailbone dropping down. Gaze over your right fingertips. Reach your right fingertips toward the back wall. Press through that right heel. Then drop the pelvis. Gaze over your left fingertips. Turn your left palm up, reverse warrior. Right hand to right thigh, left arm sweeps up and over. Or swipe that right hand around, try to bind on top of the left thigh. Move that left cheek towards your left bicep. Inhale through that left side waist, deep into the hip and lower back. Exhale toward extended side angle, left forearm to thigh bone, palm facing up. Keep tucking that left sitting bone under the pelvis. Then sweep that right arm up alongside the ear and squeeze that bicep in toward the ear and down, plugging that right arm bone right into the shoulder socket and rooting the right heel. The left shoulder blade is on the back. Good. A lot of space around that left ear and neck. Then reach your right fingertips forward. Release your hands to frame that front foot. Swing the right heel over the toes. Take your right hand a little wider than the shoulder and take your hand on the lower back. Lift your lower back up. Couple breaths there. Lifting your lower back into your hand. So we're really spiraling that right rib toward the left rib. One more inhale breath. Exhale, left hand comes down on the outside of the heel. Touch your right knee down. Slide that left leg back. Exhale into your child's. Inhale, stand up. This time interlace the fingers back behind you. Drop the knuckles down. Lift your heart. Big full inhale, belly. Exhale, coming back to neutral. We're going to cross our ankles, sit behind the heels. Slide your heels out straight. Let's inch ourselves forward toward the front of the mat. So we're sitting up tall in Dandasana, tented fingers framing the outside edges of your hips. Your feet are flexed, sitting really tall through the crown of the head. Glide your right knee in toward the sitting bone. Sit up really tall. Turn. As you turn, drag your right sitting bone back. Wrap your left arm around that right thigh for a hug. And take your right fingertips behind you. Left foot is flexed, left toes are pointing straight up. We're twisting, looking toward the back edge of your mat. Inhale, expand your belly into that right thigh. Exhale, pull the belly in and unwind back to center. And then lean forward and give a nice press right through that right foot. Then slide that right heel out straight. Now other side, left foot in. You can drag that left sitting bone back. We're going to wrap the right arm around for a hug. So you're drawing that right knee in toward the midline. And then look toward the back of your mat. You can lay that right hand right on the leg. Or maybe you take a little fist. Giving that right leg a hug in toward your body. Find the inhale into the belly. So you really puff that belly into the thigh. Exhale, pull the belly in. Come back to center. Slide that left heel out. And now bring your big toes to touch. Let's point the toes and flex and point and flex. When you point, slide your hands down, press through the tops of the feet, draw your belly in, look toward your belly. So we stretch out the tops of the feet and shins. And then we're going to slowly make your way on to the back. I'm going to put my sweater on first. It's not cold enough for Ryan to get the wood stove going down here, so it's freezing. Okay, we arrive on the back together, resting with the lower back dissolving into the ground. We'll take a moment just to let the legs extend. Let's flex the feet, point the toes up toward the sky, and then engage and squeeze your gluteal muscles just to set the back in a nice spot. And then dissolve the gluteal muscles down. Take your arms out by the sides, palms facing up, and we'll find a nice Shavasana here. The final pose that's very essential to pause for just a little bit and let the movement you did integrate and settle. Know where you have to go, nothing to do for a few rounds of smooth, steady breath, letting there be light and space flowing through all the joints, through the crown of the head, down through the tail, from the tail right up through the crown, the central channel of the body, open and receptive. Let everything be as it is for another breath or two. With the inhale, bringing vitality and life, and the exhale, letting go of stress, tension, anxiety. A nice softness through the face, the jaw, the eyes. And gently take your hands and rub your hands together. Generate some warmth. And then let the hands rest anywhere on the torso for a moment. Finding your gratitude practice for anything and all that you have to be grateful for. Take your arms overhead for a nice resetting stretch. Wiggle your toes. And draw your knees in gently for a hug and a rock side to side. Massage your back out. Remember any intention you had for today or anything you want to remember from your practice. When you're ready, take your time to roll to one side and very slowly and mindfully press up to sit. Joining together again in an upright seat. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. It's a gesture of thanks, and we're taking the thumbs to the center of the chest. And I'm wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage. Always trust on the journey. Namaste. I'm so grateful for your presence in my YouTube community. Please subscribe and also hit that super thanks button to support my channel. That would be amazing. And keep your eye out in January. I'm going to try a 10-day yoga challenge. So I hope you'll join me for a 10-day everyday practice. I pretty much post every day anyway, so might as well make it a challenge. You can do it. See you next time. Bye-bye.